What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. As promised, we finally have the mental health protocol. I'm gonna get to that in a little minute, but first and foremost, I wanted to make sure that everything was clear. So to define my goal, I want to reduce the scores that I got on those mental health tests that I mentioned in the last video by 50% in 30 days by changing my lifestyle and thought processes. So to remind you of those scores, I got a 39 on the depression score, 39 out of 60, which is on the very high range. And for anxiety, I got 18 out of 40, which is like closer to the mid-range. And I want to have those scores decreased by half. Like for depression, that would be like a 20 or 19. And for anxiety, that would be a 9. I'm not entirely sure how ambitious this goal is. I don't exactly know how difficult those numbers are to move. But in some of the videos that I was watching in, preparing for this, getting all the tips and stuff together for the last video, it sounded as though that was a very attainable goal. So as I get started with this protocol, one of the things that I need is to believe that I can actually do this, that I can achieve this, that I can grow. And, per usual, I have my notes. But I need to know that I can complete the habits that I've set for myself and that they can actually lead me to achieving my goal, which at the end of the day is really just to feel better. So to do this, right, I have to do things over and over and over and over and over again to give me confidence that, hey, I can actually do these habits. So I have to do the habits over and over and over again, because confidence comes from repetition. Confidence comes from competence. That's something that I've learned over the years. So to do this, I need to make sure that the things that I choose to do are easy enough for me to maintain while also being effective. Because you can't choose to just do something that's easy and you can do it consistently, but even when you do it consistently, it doesn't help you reach your goal within the time frame that you set for yourself. And in this case, it's 30 days, right? But I'm kind of starting from zero. So one of the things that I need to do is I need to start from zero. The habits that I give myself have to start from zero. Things have to be easy, right? But one of the things that I can do to increase the effectiveness over time is work on the principle of progressive overload. Progressive overload, if you don't know what it is by now, it's basically what you do in the gym, right? You don't come out in the gym trying to bench 225 pounds. It's too much. If you have no lifting experience, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to injure yourself. You might not even be able to unrack the weight. You might not even be able to get started. But progressive overload is you start where you are, and then progressively you add more and more and more and more and more as you are able to. That makes sure that you can actually handle whatever is set before you at that time, and that makes sure that you don't overdo yourself, you don't burn out too quickly, and make sure that you can stay consistent. So I need to incorporate progressive overload to remind myself that not only I can complete these habits, but I can progress in them. And this progression is going to be the thing that helps me stay increasingly effective. So now to actually get into the protocol, once again, like my last video, I divided it up into the dimensions of wellness, those top 4: emotional wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, and spiritual wellness. And in each of those categories, I have my non-negotiables that are a part of this protocol. I have my non-negotiables, I have my routines, and then I have my challenges. So I just want to break all those down in order. So for emotional wellness, my first non-negotiable, you probably could have guessed it, but it is meditation. It's a common starting point when it comes to these kinds of protocols. But I want to specifically meditate in the morning and meditate in the evening to get more reps in. Because I think people commonly do this one time in a day, but I want to be effective, and I already have been somewhat meditating, just not perfectly consistent. So I think that is a pretty realistic goal for myself. Trickling on from that, I also have goal setting, setting goals for myself. That kind of ties into the challenges that I'm going to talk about later. But setting goals and achieving them helps me develop confidence in myself that, hey, if I set something before me, I can actually go and achieve it. And then next I have congratulating myself. This is something that I actually did today. Because this morning I, took a couple of the tips from my last video, and that kind of framed my morning. I meditated, I walked, got some sunlight as soon as I woke up, I drank some water as soon as I woke up, and I followed typical hygiene routine as well. And after I came inside from my walk, I told myself, good job. And the walk itself felt good, but I felt good as well because I said good job. And I think that that's something that's important. That's a good thing to kind of keep me going, because there are going to be some days where I don't want to meditate, right? But when I do meditate, give myself a meaningful good job could be one of the things that, keeps me going on to the next thing that I have to do that day. And of course, making videos. That's a big part of my emotional wellness, because it causes me to add labels to how I'm feeling. Causing me to go back through my day, because today I'm taking notes throughout the day, like how things make me feel, how different parts of my routine are making me feel, and I'm going to make another video talking about that. It's kind of like my day zero for the challenges that I'm going to list out later. But that's a way for me to label my emotions, and that calls back to kind of reducing the symptoms of depression and anxiety, because when you label things, it loses its power. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm going to do as well. Moving on to physical wellness, my non-negotiables are morning sunlight. I did it today. I wasn't expecting to make it a non-negotiable just because it's kind of like a strange thing to do. But morning sunlight is a non-negotiable. Now, I would prefer that this be a walk. I go on a walk in the mornings, right? But it's December 11th today. It's cold. It can be rainy, snowy when I go back home. That can be difficult, and I want to work on the principles of progressive overload, or doing things that I can actually be consistent in. So, bare minimum, go outside in the morning, 2 minutes. That's it. Whether it's raining, snowing, whatever, I have a coat. I can stand outside for 2 minutes. When I go back home, I'm gonna have to take care of my dog anyway. But when I come back here, I'm gonna have to go outside for at least 2 minutes, get some kind of sunlight, just so that I can keep moving, just so that I can kind of regulate my morning a little bit. And the cold air is going to do good things for me as well. But boom, going outside in the morning sunlight, preferably a morning walk. Also, 20 minutes of physical activity. That is a non-negotiable when it comes to this mental health protocol. There's no way around it, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And one of my challenges directly attacks this, and I feel like it should be fun. Moving on to financial wellness, the rule that I came up for myself was to only spend money on things that I consider to be necessities or worthwhile experiences. I think that sometimes people can spend money, sometimes I can spend money on compulsions, things that I want right now, but don't want in any kind of lasting way. I really hope that makes sense. For example, let's say, I drive past a McDonald's and I could really want some fries right now. That is a compulsion. It'll feel like a want, right? But it will dissipate more than a want. What I want more is to have a healthier lifestyle. And that want will persist over days, weeks, months, while the want for those McDonald's fries will last only a few minutes, regardless of the intensity. So my rule for financial wellness is spend money on necessities like, soap, deodorant, all those kinds of things, and experiences. Experiences are things that I actually get joy from, that I can reflect on, and that I can comment on in a video like this. And to keep myself accountable, every day when I record a video to kind of give an update on my day, update on this protocol, because I will be doing that every day, I'm going to be recounting it. I have to say it. I have to say what I spent money on. And that's accountability in and of itself, because I don't want to let anybody down. And last, for spiritual wellness, I have to pray every day. And it can't just be a prayer, like a prayer that becomes habitual. It has to be an honest and heartfelt prayer every morning and every evening, kind of building that into my routine. Because it's not just a check off, but it's a time to be vulnerable. It's a time to be vulnerable and to see things bigger than me. And I think that that's very important, and I can't skip that. Now, moving from my non-negotiables, I have my routines. Now my routines can vary. Like let's say I have something to do that morning. I meditate and I got my morning sunlight and I prayed. From there, some things can kind of switch around. But ideally, if I don't have anything to do or if I have control over my morning, what I would do in the morning is first I'd use the bathroom, get my sunlight, I'd meditate and pray, shower, hygiene, and then after that I would read, journal, or plan a video. Those are the kind of things that I'm doing that today. That's what I did today. And that has been orienting my day. Like the first 3 hours of my day have been feeling great because I followed this routine. And this is kind of loosely the routine that I've been following, the past, the times when I've been kind of on on the things that I need to be on. And it's been beneficial those days. And I imagine it would be even more beneficial if I was to do it consistently. In the evenings, it's a little more straightforward, a little more simple. Just hygiene, meditate, pray, read and journal. That's pretty simple. The reading and the journaling piece, it would help me have my heart rate decrease, especially with meditation happening right before it. And from there, I should be able to ease myself into sleep. Even if it's not at the exact same time, even if I'm not waking up at the exact same time, I think that this is a pretty good morning and evening routine to kind of help me get started. Something to shoot for. And now, last but not least, I have my challenges. I'm kind of excited about this part, actually. So I have 2 skills that I'm going to turn into 30-day challenges, some goals that I can set for myself. First one has to do with meditation. Meditation is the kind of thing that I don't think enough people put emphasis on it scaling. I think that, you meditate for your 10 minutes a day and boom, you're good. But what if you pushed for more? What if you spent more time in that meditative state? So right now I can meditate for about 5 minutes pretty comfortably before my mind starts to kind of drift and it's not as useful, I can't refocus. In 30 days, I want to turn that 5 minutes in the morning and the evening to 20 minutes in the morning and the evening. The most I've ever done, even at my most consistent, was 15. And I think that being really diligent in this in the morning and the evening would help me get to that 20. And the second challenge over the next 30 days is push-ups. I said that I want to double my max push-ups in 30 days. I was an athlete in high school. I still do lift from time to time. I'm not completely out of shape. So that probably would put me around 90 to 100, maybe a little over 100 push-ups in 30 days. And I think that that's something that I could do because I'm not training for that right now. And once I and I feel like the curve would be somewhat like this, where I could get there relatively quickly. So those are my 2 challenges. I'm very excited about them. And another part of this is I want to post shorts. I want to post shorts kind of showing you hey, I did my push-ups. Hey, I meditated. Here's how it felt. Just to increase engagement here, because I actually do want to see these go from no views to 1 or so. And also to kind of just give me more to do, have me invest more in this, because I think the editing process is fun. It gives me something to do, especially over winter break when, sometimes I can just kind of sit around waiting for Christmas and New Year's to happen and then just go back. So yes, this is my protocol. I'll probably make another video tonight, kind of doing my challenge day 0 or something like that. But no, this is my protocol. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy. I'm glad to share it with you. I hope that, from watching this journey, you guys can get some benefit. So yeah, thank you. On to the next.